There is a hum beneath the surface of things, an ancient, resonant whisper that has coursed through the veins of the world since the first vibration stirred the silence into form. This is the hidden music of existence, the unseen architect of healing, the force that sculpts matter and meaning alike. Sound is not merely something we hear, it is something we are. From the rhythmic pulse of our blood to the electric symphony of our thoughts, we are never not vibrating, never not singing some fragment of an infinite song. And when we learn to listen, not just with our ears, but with our bones, our breath, our very cells, we unlock a doorway to transformation that medicine, for all its miracles, has only begun to map. Consider the shaman's drum, its steady beat syncing with the heart of the earth. The monk's chant, rippling through the chambers of a cathedral like a living wave. The mother's lullaby, its frequencies tuning a child's nervous system into safety. These are not metaphors. Science now confirms what mystics have always known. Sound shapes reality. It rearranges neurons. It rewires pain. It coaxes broken tissue back into harmony, not by force, but by resonance. The same principle that causes a struck violin string to awaken its silent neighbor. Healing, then, is not a static event. It is a conversation, a call and response between the frequencies we invite into our bodies and the wisdom already humming within them. Yet modern life has deafened us. We move through a cacophony of distractions, the scream of sirens, the drone of screens, the static of unresolved traumas vibrating in our musculature like discordant chords. Is it any wonder we ache? Any wonder we fracture? The body remembers what the mind forgets. Every harsh word, every unprocessed grief, every moment of dissonance leaves its imprint in our energetic score. But here lies the alchemy. Just as sound can wound, so too can it mend. The right frequency, at the right time, becomes a tuning fork for the soul. It reminds the body of its original blueprint, the one it knew before the world taught it to forget. This is not merely about relaxation, not merely about the pleasant tingle of a singing bowl or the ambient solace of ocean waves. This is about restoration at the cellular level, about the way 528 Hz, the so-called love frequency, can repair DNA strands in a petri dish. The way Gregorian chant can slow brainwaves to theta states, those liminal tides where deep healing surges. The way a drum circle can synchronize the heartbeats of strangers into a single rhythm, dissolving the illusion of separation. Sound, in its purest form, is a bridge between matter and spirit, between the seen and the unseen, between who you are and who you might yet become. So we begin at the beginning, with vibration, with the understanding that every illness, every imbalance, is a kind of stuck song, and that to heal is not to fight the body's dissonance, but to retune it, to offer it a sweeter, older, more remembering note. The universe does not whisper its secrets, it sings them. From the orbital frequencies of planets to the electromagnetic hum of our own cells, existence is a vast, interwoven harmonic field. When we speak of sound as a healing force, we are not speaking of mere acoustics. We are speaking the primordial language of vibration, the hidden mathematics that govern form and flow. To understand how sound transforms healing, we must first grasp three essential truths, each revealing a deeper layer of resonance. Your physical form is not a static vessel but a living symphony, 72 trillion cells, each vibrating at precise frequencies. When healthy, these frequencies harmonize like a masterfully conducted orchestra. But stress, trauma, and disease introduce dissonance, causing sections of the orchestra to falter. Sound healing works not by silencing these off-key players, but by reintroducing their original scores. Consider the work of Dr. Hans Jenny, who demonstrated how specific frequencies shape matter into intricate geometric patterns, cymatics. If sound can arrange grains of sand into mandalas, what might it do to the liquid crystals of your fascia, to the charged ions of your nervous system? The body knows its perfect pitch. Sometimes it simply needs to remember. We perceive ourselves as solid beings, yet quantum physics reveals a startling truth. At our core, we are 99.999% empty space, a shimmering lattice of energy. What holds this lattice together? Vibration. The same principle that allows an opera singer to shatter a wine glass governs your cellular integrity. When Stanford researchers use focused ultrasound to break up blood clots or tumors, they are leveraging this very phenomenon, matching the resonant frequency of the target until it unmakes itself. Now imagine applying this gently, not to destroy, but to repattern. A 432 Hz tone resonating with the heart's electromagnetic field. A theta wave drum sequence dissolving neural scar tissue. This is the alchemy of sound. It bypasses the illusion of separation, speaking directly to the energy that you are. Water comprises 60% of the human body, and water, as the work of Dr. Masaru Emoto famously suggested, has a startling capacity to record vibration. When exposed to harmonious sound, water forms exquisite crystalline structures. When exposed to chaos, its patterns fracture. If our cells are essentially aqueous, what symphonies are they holding? What wounds are encoded in their tides? The implications ripple outward, from the ultrasonic baths used to cleanse surgical instruments, to the way Tibetan monks charge water with mantras. Every glass you drink, every tear you cry, every bloodstream surge is a library of frequencies. Sound healing, at its core, is about rewriting the archives. These are not abstract theories. They are keys to a door modern science is only now unlocking, a door the ancients knew well. The Egyptians used vowel toning in their healing temples. Aboriginal cultures mapped the songlines of the land. Pythagoras prescribed specific melodies to cure diseases of the psyche. They all grasped the same profound truth: to heal is to resonate with wholeness. There is an old Cherokee story about a grandfather who takes his troubled grandson into the forest at dawn. Inside you, he says, there are two wolves fighting, one of fear, one of love. When the boy asks which wolf wins, the elder replies, the one you feed. Now imagine this battle not as metaphor, but as physics. The wolf of fear vibrates at a frantic, splintered frequency, the jagged rhythm of a heart in distress. The wolf of love hums at 528 Hz, the same frequency that chlorophyll uses to convert sunlight into life. Every thought, every emotion, is a kind of sound, and you are the conductor. This is the deeper narrative of sound healing. It is not about adding something foreign to the body, but about awakening the songs already sleeping within it. Consider the legend of the phoenix, that mythical bird that dissolves itself in its own cry before rising renewed. Is this not what happens when a trauma survivor toning the vowel finally releases the scream frozen in her throat? Or when a veteran's PTSD softens under the rhythmic pulse of a frame drum tuned to the Earth's own 7.83 Hz Schumann resonance? The stories are everywhere, if we listen. In ancient Greece, the Oracle of Delphi did not merely prophesy, she resonated. Sitting atop the sacred tripod, her utterances emerged from more than mortal insight. Geologists now confirm the temple was built over intersecting fault lines that released ethylene gas, inducing trance states. But there was another secret. The temple's inner chamber was a perfect sound chamber. When the Pythia chanted, her voice amplified through the limestone walls, vibrating at frequencies now known to stimulate the pineal gland. Those who came seeking healing left not just with answers, but with their very nervous systems retuned. Modern sound baths using quartz crystal bowls mimic this same principle. The bowls are silicon-based, just like the temple stones. Just like the human body. In the Andes, shamans speak of the colibri, the hummingbird, whose wings beat at precisely 432 cycles per second, the same frequency that reduces inflammation in human cells. When a healer imitates this sound while working on a patient, they are not mimicking nature. They are aligning with a universal harmonic. Modern medicine confirms this. Ultrasound at 432 Hz accelerates bone regeneration. The shamans knew it centuries ago. They understood that illness is often a rhythmic disruption, a body forgetting its native tempo. At Ireland's Newgrange, a 5,000-year-old passage tomb hums when the wind strikes its entrance stones at the correct angle. The Neolithic builders crafted the entire structure to resonate at 110 Hz, the exact frequency that modern studies show switches the brain from beta to theta consciousness, the state where deep healing occurs. Were these ancient engineers merely lucky, or did they possess an intuitive grasp of sonic architecture that we are only now rediscovering? When you sit in a sound bath today, you are partaking in the same ritual that Bronze Age initiates experienced, the ritual of being played. These stories are not fantasies. They are maps. Maps that show how sound doesn't just accompany transformation. It is the transformation. When a Tibetan singing bowl is placed on a cancer patient's body and the oncologist later reports inexplicable tumor reduction, we are witnessing the same phenomenon the Delphi priests harnessed. The same phenomenon the hummingbird embodies. The boundary between myth and science dissolves at the right frequency. The most profound truths are those we can hold in our hands, or in this case, here with our bones. The science of sound healing is no longer confined to esoteric circles. It pulses through hospitals, therapy offices, and even corporate boardrooms, revealing itself as one of the most accessible yet underutilized tools for transformation. But how does one translate the cosmic symphony into daily life? How do we move from theory to embodied resonance? The answers are simple. You need not sit in a crystal pyramid to receive sound's benefits. Your world is already saturated with healing frequencies, if you know how to listen. Consider the mundane miracle of humming. When you hum, especially the Om vibration, you stimulate the vagus nerve, triggering the parasympathetic nervous system to lower cortisol levels and reduce inflammation. Dentists in ancient India prescribed humming to prevent tooth decay, unaware they were activating nitric oxide production, now proven to enhance blood flow and immunity. The act is absurdly simple. Then there is water, not just as a recipient of sound, but as a delivery system. Japanese researcher Dr. Masaru Emoto's controversial yet compelling work showed that water exposed to loving words or harmonious music forms intricate crystalline structures. While skeptics debate his methods, modern hydrotherapy clinics use precisely calibrated sound frequencies to restructure water before intravenous therapies. At home, you can experiment by playing Gregorian chant or solfeggio frequencies near your drinking glass for 10 minutes before consumption. The body, being mostly water, receives these frequencies like a thirsty root receives rain. For trauma survivors, sound offers a backdoor to healing where talk therapy often stumbles. The work of Dr. Bessel van der Kolk reveals that traumatic memories are stored not as narratives, but as fragmented sensory imprints, a scream frozen in the amygdala, a heartbeat pattern encoded in the fascia. Here, rhythmic drumming at 4.5 beats per second, the rate of a mother's soothing heartbeat, can gently defrost these shards without re-traumatization. Veterans with PTSD undergoing drum circle therapy show 23% greater symptom reduction than those using pharmaceuticals alone. The drum does not ask the mind to remember. It teaches the body to repattern. Even more startling are the applications in physical rehabilitation. Stroke patients at the University of Helsinki regain speech faster when therapists match melodic intonation to their brain's damaged language centers, a technique called MIT, melodic intonation therapy. The music bridges the neural gaps where words cannot. Similarly, Parkinson's patients walking to rhythmic beats experience 50% fewer falls, their gait steadied by the external pulse their faltering basal ganglia can no longer provide. Yet for all sound's gifts, we must also confront its shadow, the disharmony of modern noise. The World Health Organization now ranks traffic noise as the second largest environmental health risk in Europe, contributing to 48,000 annual cases of heart disease. More insidious are the 50 to 60 Hz electromagnetic hums from appliances and Wi-Fi routers, frequencies that disrupt cellular communication like static corrupting a radio signal. The solution is not to retreat into silence, but to curate our sonic environment as deliberately as we choose our food. What was once the purview of priests and shamans is now available via smartphone apps and YouTube tracks, but herein lies both opportunity and peril. Not all healing frequencies are created equal. A poorly rendered 528 Hz track on cheap speakers may do more harm than good, just as distorted light can trigger migraines. The key is intentionality. When you play a solfeggio scale, do so through high-quality headphones or bone conduction devices. Better yet, create the sounds yourself, through toning, drumming, or even humming, making your body the instrument. The most profound realization: you are already in a sound bath. The refrigerator's drone, the bird outside your window, the blood rushing in your ears, these are not interruptions to your healing. They are its raw materials. The alchemy lies in learning to orchestrate them. We began this journey by listening, not just with our ears, but with the ancient, cellular wisdom that remembers a time before words. A time when the universe was a single, vibrating note, and every healing was a return to resonance. Now, as we stand at the edge of this exploration, one truth echoes louder than all others. Sound is not something we use to heal. Healing is what happens when we remember we are sound. Every insight we've uncovered, from the 528 Hz DNA repairs to the PTSD survivor steadied by a drum's rhythm, points to the same cosmic joke: we've been wearing headphones in a symphony. The frequencies that heal us are not foreign remedies, but reminders of our fundamental nature. When a Tibetan bowl's hum aligns your heart rate variability, it's not imposing order. It's revealing the order already there, buried under layers of disconnection. The physicist would say we're tuning oscillators to their natural state. The mystic would say we're returning to God's vibration. Both are right. This is where sound healing transcends technique and becomes a way of being. You don't need special instruments to start, though they help. Begin with the most sacred tool you own, your breath. The next time stress grips you, exhale with a whispered "ah," the universal sound of release. Feel it vibrate through your chest like a plucked string. That's your first medicine. Then listen deeper. The rustling leaves outside? That's 432 Hz. The laughter of a loved one? That's dopamine in audible form. Your environment is already a healing soundscape. You've just been taught to call it noise. A single question remains. What frequency will you choose to embody today? Will you match the frantic 440 Hz of modern haste, the standard out-of-tune concert pitch? Or will you recalibrate to 432 Hz, the frequency of starlight captured in water crystals, the hum of Saturn's rings recorded by NASA probes, the tone that makes wheat germinate faster? The choice manifests in your cells, in your relationships, in whether you meet life as a cacophony or a chorus. So let this be the day you stop seeking healing and start sounding it. Let your voice be the tuning fork for your nervous system. Let your ears become portals to remembering. And when someone asks how sound transforms the healing journey, smile and tell them, it doesn't. It reveals that the journey was always sound. The experiment starts now. Leave a comment. Sharing. What's one sound that instantly shifts your state? A bird call? A childhood lullaby? Or maybe the ocean? Then try this. Hum your current emotion as a single tone, and hum the tone you want to feel. Notice the shift. The world is waiting to hear your frequency.